Yes. If you have any queries, I mean, any questions, whether it's a basic or advanced, you can ask me now. Oh, yes, Vivek.
Hello.
Yeah, Vivek, tell me.
Yeah. I just joined the session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So, any
Yeah, I have a
questions?
query. This program will be from beginner to the intermediate level, right? Right?
Not to the intermediate level, to the I mean, advanced level. Okay.
Okay.
But see, if
So
you
in the
don't,
meantime,
sorry.
only the programming language will not be that is trained in this program, right?
No, I have an answer for this, but not now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we have an answer for this.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
well, this
Okay.
is not a completely like a basic program. It is for the advanced program, but the one thing that you have to do is the practice. One thing that what we
Okay.
expect from you is practice. See, once you attended the training, and if you don't have a practice, you will not be into that advanced level. Okay, anyhow, we do have assignments daily. So I mean, from the day 3 onwards, like, you start writing your own scripts. So from that day, we will be giving you some sort of an assignments in a day wise. uh, you have to give your best during the training time, then we can consider it's like an advanced level. If you don't do practice, if you do in practice, I mean, then we can say it's up to the intermediate level. But the training program is going to be start from the very basic scratch. Okay, clear?
Okay, fine. Yes. Yeah, clear.
Well, any other questions?
So which version of Revit will be required?
Any version, except, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If you go with the advanced version, like, I mean, the updated versions of, like, 2018, 2019, that would be fine. Even you can use this Dynamo in the 2016 and 2017 also, because the Dynamo has introduced in 2015. But compared to the resources, I do suggest it's about 2018. If it's about 2018, you have a advanced version of Dynamo, so that you can enjoy the complete benefits of it. Clear?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, hello sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good at Dynamo and a little bit beginner for Python also.
Mm-hmm.
So coming to Revit Dynamo, I need to know means what are the terms used and what are the modules used if in Revit,
Okay.
like what is import CLR
Hmm.
and add Revit
Hmm.
services.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm not
You're
getting
not aware
those.
of those. So you're already a Dynamo
Yes.
user and you want to know more about the programming part, correct? Okay. Well, I have a question for you. Have you heard about the design scripting before getting into the Python? I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
have you heard
Yes.
about the design scripting?
Yes.
Do you know? Do you
Yes.
know about
Code
it?
block.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So, what is the use of the design scripting?
Means to reduce the
Hmm.
script.
To reduce the scripting, huh? Perfect. So it's
Less
almost like
Number
simplicity.
of nodes. To reduce the number of nodes.
reduce the number of nodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, so that's almost like 80%. It's the right answer. The thing is, where design scripting is a language which makes more comfort than the Python. Okay. So before you getting into the Python, like, you should aware of the design scripting language, Shakil. This will really help you. This will really help you. That's why we have segregated this entire training course into. We're getting some noise. I just muted everyone. Okay. Well, so before getting into the Python, if you learn about the design scripting language for some time, okay, like there, like what we follow during our training is the first 3 months you have, at least you should have a good hands-on experience for 3 months on the Dynamo. Once you feel like confident that I'm very very perfect on Dynamo, then you can go with the Python scripting. Then this is what like generally we do suggest to our students. Okay, so if you're, I mean, you can't play with the design scripting and the Python at the same time, because this programming, this coding syntax is different and that coding syntax is completely different. Okay, well, to achieve, I mean, to achieve some sort of an actions in a short time, the design scripting is a perfect language to learn. But of course you can achieve the same thing in the Python as well, but you cannot get that. It will take a lot of time compared to the design scripting language and Python language. So it will take at least 30 minutes difference compared to the design scripting and Python. Python is more like complicated than the design scripting. Design scripting is very very easy. So in our training program, we are going to provide you the training on the Dynamo as well and the design scripting language as well. So once you feel confident, then we do provide, I mean, you do have an exam. It's called as, I mean, a Dynamo assessment. Like one, if you cracked it, then you can, we feel, I mean, we can consider you are eligible for the Python training course. Otherwise, we will not allow you to the advanced one. So these are two different modules. The first one is a Dynamo from zero to hero, and the second one is a superhero. Clear? Okay, Shakil.
Okay,
So,
clear.
well,
Means
where there
I'm
is a,
not.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah, please.
Sir,
So
Rajesh, I have one doubt. This Dynamo concept only for Revit software or like ETAP, STAAD Pro,
Nice,
these all softwares are also there, na? That
nice.
means the concept is
Hmm.
in Revit speed work purpose and get quality out everything.
Hmm.
Repetition works. It reduces the repetition works. I think I heard some sessions.
Hmm.
So in ETAP, STAAD Pro, can we implement this? Or the
Actually,
Tekla.
I
Tekla,
have
I
a
think is there.
I have an answer for this. Generally, what we do here is Dynamo is just a name. That's it. Dynamo is just a name. How we have a BIM platform? We have a BIM platform, when within the platform itself, like we have a lot of applications. If you use like ArchiCAD, if you use a Rhino, if you use a Rivet, correct? Right?
Hmm.
So where how
Hmm.
we have a BIM platform, for programmers they do have a different platform called API, application programming interface. So where you have an application, and for every application there would be a interface. So which interface? Our interface is UI. Our
Hmm.
interface is UI, user interface. For programmers, there is a programming interface. So they would write a code. You understand? They will code behind the application, correct? So where API, if you understand API language, you can play with any application. You understand? Okay, but that is an
Means application means uh,
either Tekla or what you're saying,
Revit,
Touch or
ETAP,
whatever it
STAAD
is.
Pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you one thing. For every application, we do have a. I think in my PC there is a problem. Let me try. So in Manage tab, we have a macro
Hmm.
manager. So when I click on macro manager, so where it is showing, it's like a B building application. Let's say when I click on edit, within our application itself, within our Rivet application itself, we have a different application called Sharp Develop. So that is a programmer's interface. Why, unlike showing it's like a CL? Let me show you that Sharp Develop and Rivet. Let me, because Sharp Develop isn't working in my Rivet 2021. Rivet. sharp develop. Sharp develop. Let me show you an image. Yeah. So whenever you go to the manager and click on macro manager, oh my goodness, too much noise. Sorry. If you once you're done with your question, please mute yourself. Huh? Thank you. Okay, so this is a sharp develop application. So sharp develop in the sense the user can write a code within the Rivet application. This is not a Dynamo. So this sharp develop has been there since the Rivet has, I think from 2011 it seems. From 2011, we have this tool, sharp develop. But the Dynamo has introduced recently in 2015. This is completely failure because a BIM person cannot be a programmer. But when it comes to the Dynamo, a BIM person can be a programmer. Why? What is the difference between the sharp developer and the Dynamo is this is a pure coding like interface, and where the Dynamo is not a coding interface. Forget about the coding completely. So if you're aware of if you're aware of programming language, any programming language, or no, doesn't matter, you can be a master in the programming within like a 1 month. It's 1 month itself. I mean, if you're really doing good, if you're sacrificing your personal time and sitting and doing some sort of an R&D in a new on an to learn a new interface, so it will be. I mean, it's more than 1 month is more than enough. Okay. Well, now coming to your answer, if the visual programming, the process what we are going to learn is visual programming. It's not a programming, the visual programming. And if you see, uh, if I type visual programming tools, we have a lot we have a lot of applications. So even this is also like a visual programming. Okay, so this is a visual programming, and this is not, this is also visual programming, and this is a new application, and this is also a programming tool, and even this is also programming. The visual programming, where this one, all this. So what we are doing here, instead of writing code, we are using some blocks, having the code inside it. So someone has already written a script for us. Okay, well, you should know like how to use it. That's it. You should know like how to use it. So this interface is more easier than the coding interface. So what generally the developers do, they are implementing this interface into in future, like we can see in all the applications. Well, for a Dynamo itself, like this is not only for the Rivet. For example, if you're a Civil 3D user, where is this? When I click on Get Dynamo, see, we have a Dynamo for Rivet, we have a Dynamo for Civil 3D, we have a Dynamo for Advanced Steel, for Format. It is which is actually a replica of like SketchUp Format, such a nice tool. Alias Design and Robot Structural Steel Analysis, and more coming soon. Actually, if we don't have this pandemic situation, we could see more applications within the Rivet, within the Autodesk platform itself, on Autodesk webinar, on a seminar. So they have announced that they're supposed to add 4 to 5 applications, even including the Navis works as well. So if you learn this if you learn this Dynamo tool, this is not only for this. Even if they are introducing this visual programming concepts in any other application, like a Bentley products, like your whatever you're asking for, even for those applications, even you can apply the same methodologies. You can apply the same. For example, if you see, um, Dynamo versus Grasshopper, Dynamo versus Grasshopper. Grasshopper is for Rhino. So compared to the Rivet, Rhino is more flexible for the architects. I hope you know. I hope you all know this. So for them, this is like a grasshopper. If you see, let me show you the difference, the coding difference. Yep. I don't know whether this is the right example or not. Let me open this. Yeah. See where we have a blocks, even where we have a blocks here. So we have a blocks, we have a blocks. Everything which is looks same. The only thing is the connection. The connection, you should know like which switch has to turn on. I mean which switch you have to on to turn on the light. You understand? So this is like where you play the electricity there. But when it comes to the dynamo, where you should know like how to play with the data. Play with the data. Dynamo is completely like a playing with the data. So this application interface is going to be there in future in all the applications. So once you learn these concepts, this is not it's not only the limited for only this tool, only for the Rivet. You can enhance yourself into the number of applications in future. That's what I can say. Okay, why? Because uh, I'm going to teach you the core concepts. Oh, I'm sorry. It's battery low. Just give me a second. Yeah, thank you. So where I'm going to introduce you the topics called the concepts. It's mine. Actually, we have a main concepts, like we have a 10 to 15 concepts were there. So each and every concept should be explained in detail. If you learn them in detail, then you can handle any kind of an script very easily. You can create any kind of a script in a couple of minutes, not in hours as well. Okay, so this is the programming structure, guys. I mean, this is our training program structure. This is a training structure completely. So data types 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we have a 10 like we have a 10 key concepts. So we have more actually, but I have simplified into the 10. Okay, so if you are good in these 10 key concepts, you are the master for sure. You become like into the advanced level. Seriously, if you are aware of 8 key concepts and if you're not aware of these two, you are zero. You're completely zero, even not even 10% as well. Because without the filtering option, you cannot filter the elements that you're supposed to play. If you don't know the lacing strategies, then if you're trying to play with the one element, it will return 10 elements. If you're trying to play with 1,000 elements, it will show you only 10 elements. So this is how it works. If you don't know like how to play with the list management, you have to like your script execution would be, I mean, it will kill a lot of hours if you don't know the list management. Okay, well, the dot notation, if you don't know this concept, you can't, I mean, you're completely zero. Even if you're good in this 99%, if you're good in all this concept, and if you're not aware of the dot notation, you're completely zero. So we are going to see what are the things like you supposed to learn. This webinar is not to promote our training structure. So how do you even if you want to enhance yourself, then you can go with your, even you can upskill yourself after this webinar. If you have any questions, I'm ready to open for, I mean, I'm ready to answer any kind of a queries for you. Okay, so this is a node behaviors and execution types, node states. So each and every topic would be explained in detail, every concept that we are. And I have seen some sort of a courses like that you can be master in Dynamo, you can learn Dynamo in 1.5 hour, like 3 hours. No, seriously, it's a bad statement. It's really completely a false statement. So if you learn a tool, I mean, if you want to learn a tool in depth, 3 hours is not sufficiently enough. Seriously, even where we have seen some sort of a Navisworks training that I learned. I heard recently, sir, I learned Navisworks in 1 hour. No, it's not possible. So it has to be in detailed. What if you do this? What if you did not do this? What if we have another options? So hidden options you have to command like decoding and encoding. So you have to like sit on R&D for at least more than 100 hours to learn a tool in perfect. So when it comes to like mine, I have a total 10 years of experience in this BIM industry, and I've been trained more than 500 plus students, not only on this automation. I've been trained on Rivet around like 500 plus again. So around I've been trained 1,000 plus students from the AutoCAD itself. Like I've been trained on Navisworks. I mean, I trained the people on Navisworks and Rivet, and even like Power BI, and even small add-ins as well. I mean, if you have any add-ins, like I don't know whether you heard about this DB link. Even the DB link is a one-click process, but I take like 1.5 hours to explain that in detail. So this is how the R&D level should be. Okay, so I have wasted around like 1,000 plus hours, more than 1,000 hours. Uh, in my in my what do you say exactly, when I'm learning. Okay, well, and when it comes to the execution, wasted around 2,000 hours again. So if you have any questions, then I never say no. I have an answer for every question that you have, and I'll explain that in detail even. Okay, so I'm going to feed you that thousands of hours R&D experience in next 40 hours. So our training program is total 40 hours. Okay, so you will learn a lot in the next 40 hours of training, and I'm sure, damn sure, like you will be start writing your own scripts from the third day itself. How? I'm very confident on it, because if you would like to play with, I mean, from the third day, you must have to put in the data types and some sort of an anatomy of a node, some sort of a concepts called anatomy. If you understand how the node works, you will really get 70% of confidence within this concept itself. Damn sure. Okay, you can play with any kind of an parameter, and you can extract it, you can set the values to it. So you can do all this stuff within from the third day. Once you're done with the third day training program, you will be having assignments from the fourth day itself. From the fourth day till, like, generally I do say it's a 30 hours training program, but sometimes it may went to 40 hours, and sometimes it may we can finish it in 35 years. But if you have any students that who are like slow learners, those are not capable to understand, uh, that those people are my target. So I'll be focusing the complete training on the slow candidates. If you're not able to understand, I'll keep giving the examples. I'll keep giving the examples until unless you understand. I'll keep giving you the number of examples. Okay, so this is what I can say. And well, so do you have any other questions? Do you have any other questions, or shall we get into the demo? Guys, do you have any questions? Please. Yeah,
Uh,
great.
I have a question that if we have all the things in Dynamo,
Hmm.
so why we are using Revit API and add-ins
Hmm.
in Revit?
Great. That's great.
All the things are we can do in Dynamo.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why should we use add-ins?
Okay. Well, let me show you. Well, that's a nice question actually. Let me explain you.
Yeah.
We're coming to this. Actually, we do have a slide for this. Let me open that. So let me open that. Hmm. So where we have a three different platforms, where we have completely like a three different platforms. One is a Dynamo, and second one is like it's not a Python, huh? It's Iron Python. It's a different Python. It's called application Python. Okay, so Iron Python. Iron Python is a different Python compared to a Python which is similar, but something different. Okay, Well, so this iron button and where we have a Rivet API. So now your question is, if you can achieve everything within the Dynamo itself, then why you have to learn this Python language and why you have to go with the Rivet API, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
no. With a Dynamo, you cannot achieve the complete 100% of the solution. If you have a problem, you cannot find the solution within the Dynamo itself, frankly. So if I say you can achieve 100% anything with a Dynamo, that's again a false statement. I don't want to give that seriously. So Dynamo has some limitations again. What are the limitations? See, you are not I'm if like what is saying, how can I say that? Okay, we are utilizing someone's script. Let me show you that. Where is our browser? Okay, well, dynamobim.org. Oh no, dynamopackages.com. Dynamopackages.com. Okay. Well,
Okay.
let's see. We have a total 1670 packages. So why explaining these packages from why I'm deviating this topic from one to another one? No, 670 package in the sense it's like a folders. Let me edit the page for your convenience. They're like folders. So 1670 folders. We have total 670 folders. So what are the 1670 folders? If you are the owner of you are aware of like a Python scripting, so what you have done, you have created a customized solution for your problems, and you feel that
Different type of problem.
whatever different kind of a problems. Okay, well, now you realized, okay, this solution should not be only for me, and you decided to publish it on online and everyone can use it. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's a folder.
Yes. Yes.
So there are like we have some sort of a like a developers. Even some companies do for like promotion sake or for like intentionally, or they are promoting their products or whatever. Okay, they do create some sort of a customized scripts and they are releasing it for free of cost. Even within that Autodesk team itself, we do have 500 developers. 500 developers. So they do release different kind of solutions and they release it for free of cost. You understand? For example,
Yeah.
if I have I have an categories. Let's see. Let me explain with a practical example. I have a categories. Okay. So I have all elements. Okay, let me do it here without confusion. All elements of, so whatever I'm typing here, I'm not the owner of any one of the script. So this is a script
Yes.
and this is a script and this is a script and this is a script. So we have a thousands of, not thousands, lakhs of scripts available in this node library itself. Okay, well, all elements of category, all elements of category and category view, we have two different nodes. I'm not the owner of this script. I'm not the owner of this script again. Okay, but still it works. Well, what is the query here? For example, if I choose wall, if I choose walls, when I connect this to this, it's saying I have a 25 walls in it. I have a 25 walls in it. How can I extract this walls information in a couple of seconds? Where I have to, if you learn Python, if you want to do it like Python, so what you have to do, you have to write a code for this. You have to write a some sort of a lines of a code for this. But I didn't write anything, but I can achieve all the elements within the model. Within the model, I can achieve like all the 25 models, all the 25 elements we do have in this model itself. Okay, well, how did you do that? Fine. I know a category, and if I would like to play with, I don't want to see in all the views, not in the complete model element. I would like to see in a view, that's it. Or else, let me, for example, BX. Now, I have a view called 3D BIM. Okay, so what do you do? Views. So in the views bar itself, like I'll say how many walls were there, in the BIM view. Now it is saying it's like 25. It's not 25 actually. I think this needs some refresh. It's saying 20 walls now. Do you see this? It needs 20. Now in the complete model itself, like we have a 25, but in 3D BIM we have a 20 walls.
Yes.
In 3D BIM in this view, I have a 20 walls itself. Clear? So when I select all this and if I say filter, it shows like we have a wall 19 elements, like one more like curtain wall grid, it is counting like something else. Okay, so total we have a 20 walls. So this is how it is showing, how it is getting. Did I create any script for this? No. I'm using someone's script. If you could not found this node, then what to do?
Yes.
Then you have to go
You
with
need
this.
create your own.
Exactly. Then the iron python works. Okay. Well, this is the second module. When it comes to the Rivet API, what it is saying, see, are you new to the programming? Then I'm the one who needs you exactly. If you're new to the programming completely, then you have to go with the Dynamo. Then the Python comes next. Generally, most of you guys have the question like, I think this, I don't know from where like we got this rumor like you should be good in Python if you would like to, if you want to play with the Dynamo. False. It's completely false. No, you no need to learn even 1% concepts of any programming language to play with the Dynamo. Of course, you do have, but like generally to learn the Dynamo, you don't need especially. But when it comes to our training program, I'm going to teach you the programming concepts up to some extent the required, up to required. Okay, for example, if you want some 10% or 20% of programming concepts required to learn the Dynamo, I'll be teaching the 10 to 20%. So in the Dynamo itself, like we are going to play with 80% of a Dynamo concept and 20% of the programming concept. But when it comes to the iron python this module, so where we learn 80% of the coding and 20% of the Dynamo interface and some other different interfaces. Okay, well, so if you can't find any node in the Dynamo, then you have to learn with this. Say can't find a node, then code me here. Clear? If still what I say, you can achieve up to 60% of your solution. When you are new to the Dynamo, up to my understanding, from my understanding, you can achieve 100% whatever you are actually looking for, okay, you can achieve 100% of a scripts, because once you are getting once you're having more experience, then you will realize, okay, this is not sufficient to play with the Dynamo, so I need more. Then you will feel the 60%. Okay, then you will be learning this iron python and this Rivet API. So even though with the Python you cannot achieve everything, here you will be achieving like 80% of everything. Okay, where we have some sort of forced methods to be done in the different language, then you have to go with the Rivet API with the C#. So what it is saying, I'm not easy like Python. This is very much easy. Even you will really enjoy this, then this Dynamo. But without this Dynamo, you cannot understand this iron Python, which is all are like interlinked. Okay, well, but when it comes to the Rivet API, this is not that easy like Python. So you have to learn a lot and you have to give your back, frankly. Okay, so this is really irritatable, seriously. Okay, well, but that's I mean, what you can achieve with this, it is like you can create some sort of an add-ins, or like even with the help of like Iron Python, you cannot create any add-ins. Okay, that's up to create some sort of a nodes or customize the scripts. Okay, well, that's all. Well, am I clear your answer? I'm sorry. Who asked this question?
Thank you, Manpreet.
Okay, Manpreet. So someone has one more question. So we have a 10 more minutes for questionnaire part. Then we'll jump into this actual stuff. Any questions? Anyone having any questions? Okay.
Sir, what will be the price?
That we'll discuss later. Not now. Pricing? No, not now. Okay. So do you have any other questions except pricing? No?
Hello.
Yes, Sumit.
Yes, sir. Is that Rivet future is only 10 years? मतलब means इसके बाद मतलब Dynamo ही अपना future है इसके बाद.
Not Dynamo. I don't say it's a
Rivet.
Dynamo. I don't say it's a Dynamo. Automation. It's an automation completely, because like already the companies have started looking for this BIM developer job, Sumit. Okay, like if you see why the companies are looking for these kind of a persons, due to for the cost cutting. For
Okay.
example, if I have a company and I know a process could be done in a 4 hours, so if a person is killing 40 hours, should I allow him and should I keep him in my company? No, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
Correct? Okay. Well,
Yes,
if
sir.
I
Yes,
know
sir.
there is a process could be done in 2 to 3 minutes and I can use in number of projects in future projects, like can I hire modelers? I mean, I know that a person can do a process, a 4 hours process could be done in 4 minutes. So why should I hire a modelers? As per like survey, we have a thing that's called 5 BIM modelers equal to 1 BIM developer. Okay, so
Okay.
the company itself, which is like which can save 3 times salary of an employee. I mean, like 3 times salary of one employee. You understand? So instead of going with a manual process, not only the manual process, like we have a repetition tasks, we have a new like a generative design that's called computational designing part. So for example, you have a client, you have a discussions with your client. For example, you have a discussion with your a different kind of a clients. So they say they agree with the first design, and finally after like 1 month or 2 months they change the design. This happens with me a lot of times, and I hope in your life too. Okay, in your work life too. So they keep changing the designs, and it will take a lot of hours. But if there is a systematic design that could automate in front of the client, then the client can choose the best design with the best cost for the best costing and everything in a couple of minutes, or let's take couple of hours. Then always the companies would look for these kind of an ideas. So who will take up to that extent? A person who knows the automation. So BIM automation is our upcoming future. Everything that could be automated. You understand?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So not only the Dynamo,
Okay.
we have. I mean, for example, if you choose any a different platform like a Bentley products or like a Rhino or like some other applications, then you can say that you have to learn a different programming tool. You have to learn a different kind of a visual programming tool. You understand? But when it comes to the future, is always in the automation. Simply in one word. Okay. Well, any other questions?
Yes, hi Rajesh, this is Nani.
Hi, Nani.
Yeah, actually, I have some basic question. I understood your introduction regarding the API, Dynamo, and Python, and the next one is API. Actually, I have a basic knowledge in the Dynamo. I learned that, and if you any in project wise any difficulty, actually, I prefer I have on my company we have a API team, software team. They will use the API. So they created some plugins. We will use it. So I understand. I don't understand. So for example, in my experience, I know the only basic of the Dynamo. I don't know the Python and API. So how much time I can learn these three in the your course if you join?
Okay.
So how many months? So at least create some plugins.
Up to that extent. Okay, well, I'll do suggest you one thing. Uh, Generally, we do have a course for the complete BIM developer role. Okay, but unfortunately, we stopped it because there must be a cooling period between one language to another language. I mean, if you want to learn something, you cannot learn all at the same time. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a bad practice. You will fail for sure. You can't concentrate on, because like when it comes to the Dynamo, it's a visual programming tool, but when it comes to this Iron Python, it's a programming tool in a different application. But when it comes to the Rivet API, again, it's a programming tool with a new interface, with a new language again. You understand where Iron Python is different, and when it comes to the Rivet API add-in creation, that's a C sharp. So,
Yes.
well, when it comes to the Dynamo and the design scripting language, you have a different syntax. When it comes to the Iron Python, that's a different syntax. When it comes to the C sharp, again, that's a different syntax. You will be completely zero if you learn all at the same time. You will fail for sure. You understand?
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
have to go in a way that should make you more stronger based on your hands on. That's it, based on your hands-on. Okay, it will take some time to understand first one language. So once you're confident, okay, then you understand the in and outs of that language, then you have to go with the second one. Then you have to you have to be flexible yourself. You have to mold your mind into a different with a different language. So once you completely shifted from one to another, then it will take some time to learn a new programming language. I have faced it. I'm
Yeah.
very confident, so I thought like I'll learn this Python in very short time. And what if I can, and paid for C sharp language. But once I paid the C sharp language and paid for the C sharp language, and suddenly went completely blank in my mind. This is a different language, and it's a different language. And I skipped for some time,
Okay.
and I took some cooling time to get into this complete Python for some time. And then after 6 months or 8 months, it seems, then I started learning this C sharp language. Okay, well, it'll take at least 1.5 year for sure, Nani. Okay,
Yeah. For
okay.
each software, each language.
No, see, no. What? Listen. For first time, if you learn the Dynamo, it'll take 30 days. Okay. With
Okay.
your
Yeah.
practice, it'll take like 3 months, or let's consider 6 months. So once you're
Okay.
confident on Dynamo and design scripting, then you learn Python and play for it for like 6 months again. So again, after like 1 year, go and learn with the C sharp. You understand? So
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
I'm
It's clear.
saying. Okay. So
Yeah.
generally
It's
the
clear.
training program is around like a 3 months to 4 months, but I don't suggest to go with that plan. Okay. Well,
Okay. Yeah.
now, any other
Thank you.
questions? Thank you, Nani.
Hi,
So
Rajesh.
we
Soumya here.
Hi, Soumya. Oh, we have girls as well. Yep.
I have a I have a last question. Maybe uh, you were mentioning that we have got this Dynamo for robot structures now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what exactly does that do? Is what my question is. Meaning, like, can we automate something related to analysis of structures, or
Yes.
also play with member sizes, like finalizing member sizes, or getting getting the ideas for or the solution for sizing the elements or so?
Yes. So generally, what the thing is, don't see the automation into a scary level. Huh? Whatever you do in a manual process, you can do with the help of a Dynamo as well. You understand? So whatever you do, the manual process,
So,
you can do everything the same.
okay, so do you mean that the Excel spreadsheets that we use usually for
Hmm.
designing elements,
Hmm.
so that process can be automated here? Is that what you are meaning?
You can automate it. See, the only stuff is like where we are going to play with the data, Somya. Okay, if you know like how to bring the data into a different tool and how to utilize it, then you will be perfect. And it won't take much time if you understand these concepts. That is called, where is this? That's called list management. That's called list management. If you understand the complete process of importing and exporting a data or integrating a different application with a with a different application, then it's very easy to do it. The thing is, we are avoiding the clicks, the number of clicks. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so we're just avoiding number of clicks. Like if you, if you, for a process, if it needs like a 15 clicks, we are doing all at the same time. We just created some sort of a clicks in a scripting interface, and whenever you just click on once, it will do the 15 clicks for you. Do you understand? So don't see that
Yeah,
automation is very difficult. It's very easy. Once you once you start learning with us, then you will really feel yourself like, I thought like automation is very tough. This is so easy to learn. So up to that extent, we do teach. In a spoon feeding level. So we consider you as a LKG student, okay, and we spoon feed you completely. Okay, each and every concept will give you with multiple examples. So as we promoted, like we will be taking we'll be giving like more than 100 examples till the end of the training, where you cannot get these kind of examples anywhere else. It's completely like a customized training. Okay, clear?
yeah, thanks for that. And one more, sorry for that. One more last question regarding the same topic is, so you are telling that usually we use formatted Excel sheets that we use for you know sizing the elements, structural elements, or analyzing or so. So generally we do Excel sheets. We do use Excel sheets to sizing few elements. Okay, so that will have n number of complicated formulas within that. So do you think robot structures, Dynamo for robot structures, can be able to handle those complicated formulas?
Using
why?
VLOOKUP.
Because yeah, correct.
We can automate this.
That was the point.
Yeah, we can automate this. So generally, let me show you one thing which is related to your query. So let's make this finish quickly, because like we don't have time. We have one hour only. So if I say, I think this is the one. Yep. The process called definitions. We are going to, up to what extent that you are going to learn the training is, this is called lookup. This is called lookup actually. Okay, where you have a process, and for example, if the user input is 1, the Dynamo will understand this has to be put in that particular parameter, or put that in particular tag or whatever. If the user is going to connect a 2, this is called a lookup process. Okay, where you whatever you say, like a very complicated Excel file, it has to take the data from the Excel, and the Dynamo has to understand the particular element, and it has to put the data into it. It's very easy compared to that. You will be start playing with this from fourth day. So fourth day and fifth day and sixth day, like we will be having some sort of an examples. So if you're good in that, then you can start implementing within your projects as well. Okay. Yeah, that's easy. It's not that tough actually. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Well, so our questionnaire is done again. Up to after 10 o'clock, you can ask your questions again. So let me finish some sort of a like what is in your mind, and somewhat. Okay, let me take me to that. Okay, can someone say what is a work smart and not hard? What is the difference between like smart work and hard work? Pavitra.
Of course, Dynamo is the work smarter. Those who are working on it is a harder.
So we all are like hard workers.
Yeah, working for long
So we are
hours.
trying to
It's a hard working.
become smarter.
Trying to become smarter. Okay. Well, great. Yes, it's a smart tool
Just
actually.
reducing the quantum of work.
I know. I'll tell you one thing. Even you have to work hard to create a scripts. Then also, but it's only for one time. Okay, so you will be like playing hard for some time, only for the first time. So then it makes your process more smarter in future, like future projects or in future sessions, whatever. Okay, well, so work smarter in the sense, if you can automate a 4 hours process in like 4 minutes, that's called smart work. If you can automate, I mean, if you can finish a process, I mean, if you know the work could be done in 4 hours, and if you could finish it in like 3.5 hours or 3 hours, that is not called a smart work. That is an experience that comes with an experience, the hands-on, correct? But when it comes to the smart work, in the sense, if you could automate the complete process in very even unimaginable time, then that's called the smart work. Okay, well, so, and Dynamo program is actually what we do is how we are communicating like each other. So where the Dynamo has a different language and the Rivet has a different language. So the Dynamo will tell like what Rivet has to do with a different programming language, that's called visual programming. And this is not new to the industry. Visual programming is since so long. Okay, let me show you a scratch. Generally we do teach kids, I do teach kids the programming languages. Okay, this is one of the tool. So here, let's see this now. We have a cat here. Okay, we have a cat. Let's take the same example. This is almost similar to a Dynamo interface. Okay, well, I have a cat here and I want like to move this cat for 10 steps like forward. Okay, so what I do, I have a block. So I'm not the owner of the script. Didn't write any code here. Okay, but when I just click on this, the cat is moving to 10 steps, moving 10 steps forward. Okay, now, no, it's taking a lot of clicks to move this cat from here to there. So how can I move this cat with one click from here to here? With one click the cat has to move from here to here. Then we have to enter the data. Can you see any data here? Can you see any data in this?
No.
If you sharp, you can see the
No.
data. 10 is the data.
The 10 is
Okay.
the data.
10 is the data, the hidden one. Okay, well, when I just change the data, I mean, to 100, when I click on this, now the cat will move for 100 steps, correct? We are going to play with this data
Okay.
even in the Dynamo as well. Okay, where I'm not the user, I'm not the owner of this the block, but still I can automate something. This is how we do have, I mean, this is also we call as a visual programming language. It's a visual programming tool, but this is a block based programming. This is called block based, where we have a one more that is called flow based. Let me show you the PPT. This is a block based programming, okay, where we don't use any connections. We just have to bring and connect to some other block, that's it. Okay, this is how, where in every like block we have a data, we have the data which is already preloaded with the default values, and if you want to customize, you can customize it. That's it. Even we are doing in the Dynamo as well. For every node, for every node in every node we have some sort of a data in it. Of course you can't see it, you cannot see that. For example, where we don't have any data here, so where data we have a number of nodes. How to understand this? This is the toughest part in the training, understanding. If you understand how the node works, what is the input, what is the node input is expecting, what I can get it as an output. So what is this expecting as an input, and what I can get it as an output, and what about this, and what about this, and what about this? That's what our training program is completely. Until unless if I have, when while I'm explaining, if you have any query Sir, what is I mean, like Rajesh, what is I mean, you don't need to call me sir. Like Rajesh, what is? Uh, I don't understand this node, how it helps. I'll explain. I'll completely anatomize it, like how the BPC students like cut a frog and see inside what is inside it. How they cut the cockroach and see inside it. I'll show you up to that level. Okay, so what is inside it? How can you see that? How a BIM developer can see the additional data than a BIM programmer. I'm sorry, BIM modeler. Okay, well, I'll explain you all this stuff. See, where we have a number of blocks, where we have a number of blocks here, where we have a thousands of blocks. Okay, but how to use it? So how to use these blocks? How to use these blocks? When I click on these two, see which is moving. The cat is moving 100 steps forward and it's turning 15 degrees again. Let's make it 10 steps. Okay, so when I click on this, the cat is moving for 10 steps and rotating, like turning 15 degrees in the clockwise direction, because these two actions are performing at the same time. This is what we do with the programming. Well, we don't have a direct solution where we don't have a direct block, where we don't have a one block to play to move the cat for 10 steps along with a rotating a cat into the clockwise direction for the 15 degrees. We don't have a one single node. If you ask me, sir, don't we have any node, one node to do these two actions at the same time? No, you have to break it, where we have a solutions in a breaks, in a paths. So you have to fetch the paths from different places and you have to attach it. That's it. The dynamo the visual programming tool is. You clear? You clear? So that's what. Well, what else, like
Yes.
what else we do have here? We have a block-based programming where we have a like Scratch. I mean the Scratch and the Blockly and the MIT. We have a different kind of. Anyhow, these are not related to our BIM, but this is for just an example. That's it. Okay. Well, we have a flow-based programming. We have a flow-based programming. This is how the data which is passing from one block to the another block. You can only the person who is experienced, they can see, they can visualize what is the data inside it and where to send this data at what time. I mean like at what period of time, like you have to follow, send this data to a particular node, where if you see this from this block which is passing the data for twice in a second, correct? But when it comes to this, it's a bit slow. This is how the data which is flowing from one block to the another block with some particular, with a periodic, with some sort of a periodic timing. So you should know all this stuff. Should know all this stuff. I have a question. Like I heard some sort of some voices that those who are good in Dynamo here. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? I heard someone said like I'm aware of the Dynamo. Hmm?
Yeah, it's me. I know basics. Just
Okay. Well, have you heard about any periodic execution mode before here?
yeah, it's manual and automatic.
No. What about the periodic? There is a one more process called periodic here.
Okay, I'm not aware of this one.
Daytime. Let me show you that. So when I'm adding the periodic here, I can see the third execution process called periodic. Even if you go to a person who has experienced more than 1 year, if you ask them, have you ever, have you like ever played with a what is a periodic future? They say no, frankly, because I have interviewed like a lot of persons for different companies like LNT for and for some other companies I don't want to reveal now. Okay, so well, I found they have an experience. They're showing their experience, but they're not an experienced candidates, because I've been when I interview a person, I'll look for all this like concepts. The person is good in all these concepts or not. If a person is failed in lessing strategies, he's rejected. If the person is, even design scripting is optional, I no need to consider while during the interview process. Well, if the person is failed in execution types, I don't take him any into the next level even. You understand? The person has to be good in all this. If you are
Yeah.
really doing good in all this, you are definitely into the any company. That's my promise. And my training is going to provide you and don't think that I'm going to explain the scripts. Generally, I don't explain any scripts. Frankly, I'm saying you, because my intention is to create, to explain, to take you to an extent that you can create your own scripts. To create your own scripts, you need to understand the logic and the theoretical part and the concept behind it. So I'll be focusing only on those three. Of course, if you ask me a script, I will do it. I'll explain you. I'm not saying that no for any kind of examples, but anyhow, I do give the examples, but not the scripts which are available on YouTube. For example, in YouTube itself, if you Google it, if you YouTube it, let me see. Um, Navisworks Clash Coordination Dynamo with the Dynamo. I can found hundreds of videos. Hundreds of videos are there. Only to explain this Rivet and Naviswork for class addiction using Dynamo. Why should I explain? Why should I kill your 13 minutes of time where there is a video already available online? Why should I do that? My intention is, for example, if you watch this video, you will stuck somewhere. If you exactly clone the same script into your workspace, you will face a lot of issues. It will not work because they are using a different interface and you are using different interface. They are using 2018 and you are using 2019. Well, is there any difference? Yes, of course. For example, can you open a Rivet 2019 model in 2017? Can we
No,
open?
you can't.
No.
No.
No, right? We cannot. Correct? So where the downgrade is possible? No. Upgrade is possible, but
Not
the
possible.
downgrade is not possible. Correct? Where when it comes to the Dynamo as well, we do have some sort of a like a terminology. You have to know it. Okay. If you can able to troubleshoot any kind of a program, if you watch any video, if you go through any like external sources, okay, this is why this guy has used this node. This is why this okay, that's why. What if you can't do this? What if you cannot use that node? So up to that extent, I'll take you during the training program. Okay, well, I don't say I don't teach any examples. I'll give you the examples, but up to some extent, and I'll give you the assignments. If you do it, then that's fine. If you don't, I'll explain in the next day. You have to join like 15 minutes before, and you will enjoy it. Clear? Well, so let's get into this. Well, this is called a flow-based programming. Well, this is called flow-based programming, and this is another flow-based programming. Even now, tell me, like, is a Dynamo like a block-based programming tool or like a flow-based programming tool? Dynamo is a
Block plus flow.
hey,
It's a flow based.
flow-based programming. Correct?
Yeah.
Dynamo is a
We have,
flow-based
yes, it's a
programming.
flow based.
We have a wires. So generally, we call this. We are connecting through a wires from one to another. Okay, so it's a flow-based programming tool. We have a lot of flow-based programming tools. Well, so we have a process called, generally what we are doing as of now, one human plus one computer with a limited design. This is what we are generally following. But we have another process that's called one human with intelligence algorithm. What do you mean by algorithm? You will be knowing during the training. If you apply with unlimited cloud computing, then you will see hundreds of design options with one click. Okay, so this is called, of course, a generative design. I hope everyone knows this generative design. We are not up to that the generative design concept is still under discussions, and a lot of people are working on it. That's not up to our expectations, but still in future, like in 1 or 2 years, we every process would be like designed in a computational way. Okay, it's called generative design way. Okay, like if you have a cable tree design, cable tree routing, generally our engineers come and say, like come and ask us, like can you show us a different route for this cat cable tray with less clashes with the ducts and pipes. Then how do you do that? So you have to give a number of design options, correct? So this could be automated in future with very a few clicks. Okay, well, so we have a three different kind of methods here. One is a designer's method, one is a programmer's method, one is like engineer's method. What are these methods in Dynamo? Do we have really all this? All this? Yes, we have. See, this is called designer's method. I mean the BIM designers. So where we have a process called node based. Okay. Let me mute everyone. Okay. So this is a node-based programming and the engineer's method and the programmer's method. In the engineers, like the design scripting, where in our first module, I'm going to teach you the designers and engineers method. When it comes to the programmer's method, that comes in the second module, not in the first module. Okay. So what is this design scripting? Even I'll show you in a couple of minutes. Okay. Well, let's get these are the topics that I have already shared you. Like what is the course concept? I mean, few of you I didn't share you. I have to. I'll share you. Okay. Well, so anyhow, let's get into the practical part. Okay, so how do you understand the dynamo? How do you understand the dynamo? So for example, okay, well, there is a process called dot notation. This is a main key concept. It's the first key concept that you should learn to understand the dynamo. What is this dot notation? Wherever you see in dynamo, where for example, whenever I put a dot here, it will show a lot. For example, list, when I'm playing with a list here, so list dot sort, where we have a dot here, list dot join, I have a dot here, list dot count, oh, list dot slice dot, we don't have a dot here, list dot chop, join, dot, dot. What are all these dots actually? That's called dot notation. Initially, if you want to be strong, you have to understand the dot notation concept. Okay, well, what is a dot notation concept? What is a dot notation concept actually? Well, for example, I have an element. When I put a dot next to it, I can see element of a name of a particular element. Where what are the elements which are intersecting here? Element dot intersects element. So what are all this? I mean, it's very hard to understand. It'll be very hard to understand. But when we are into the topics, it's very whenever I'm trying to place the node, before I place the node, you will judge. Okay, you will understand. Okay, this node is for this purpose. You'll be able to understand. Okay, what is this dot notation? For example, let's say new. For example, I know a person. Mhm. Let's take a good guy. Mm, So, copy image. I know a person. Okay, I know a person. Now, I'd like to know a person height of this. I mean, I want to know the height of this particular person. So, I want to know the height of this person, and I want to know the weight of this person, and I want to know the age of this person, and I want to know fair complexity of this person, and I want to know the name of this person and the location where he's staying. So I want to know all this. Okay, in that case, how do you use the dot notation process? Let's consider it could be a element, it could be a list, it could be a line, it could be a building, or it could be an equipment, or it could be a wall, whatever it is. Okay, now I know a person and I want to know the height of that person. Then what do? I'll be using a process called dot notation person dot height. That's it. That is what the first step of understanding. Well, if I want to know the weight of this person, then person dot weight. If I want to know the age of this person, person dot age. Do you understand? Okay, now you guys answer. If I want to know the location of this person, then
Person dot location.
person dot location. If I want to know the name of this person, then
Person dot name.
person dot name. Very good. If I want to know the fare of this person, then
Person dot fare.
then that's it. Oh, it's a fare, yeah. Affair. Okay, well, let's consider, let's do the same thing, let's implement the same on live element. Okay, so let's take any transform flat icon. Well, let's copy image. Okay, now I have an equipment here. Okay, so what I would like to do is I want to know the name of this, the ID of this, and the name of this element, and the location of this element, and what else? The rating of this element, and what else? Let me go with this for now. Okay, or else like what are the parameters I do have for this element? Parameters. Okay, now how to find the ID of this element?
Element.id.
Element.id. Guys, could you please mute yourself if you're not speaking, because others are disturbing. Okay, well, if I want to know the name of this element, I mean the transformer, then
Element.name.
element. So we have an element, so that would be element dot name. Okay, if I want to know the location, element dot location.
Element dot location.
Element dot rating. Okay, perfect.
Right.
Parameters,
Element dot parameters.
correct? That's it, nothing else. If I copy this exactly, Control C, let me do the same in the Dynamo. Let's select the model element. So I am saying I want to select a model element. So I have a node called select model element. Select model element. When I click on select, now I have an access in Rivet to select an element. Now what I do, let's say, let me hit escape, come out of this first, come out of this, let me section box, let me turn on everything. I think I can see the facade now. Oh, okay, well, let me get the location of the select model element. I select here. Now I have a access here. So select model element. So I have an element now. So if I want to get the ID of this, so the same strategy. I have an element. I have an element here.
Element.id.
Very good. So element.id. Element.id. I have a process. When I connect this to this, I have an ID. See where even when I select this 254, it's saying it's a 254. Clear? Well, if I want to cross check, when I select this, go to the manage and IDs of selection 254, it's element ID. Correct? Where can I see this element ID? Or let me finish this. So element, if I want to know the name of it, then
Element.name.
element dot. When I connect this to this, it's saying this is the element name. Okay. Well, if I want to know the location of it, then
Location is here.
Element
Oh, okay, it's here.
element dot location. That's it. When I connect it to it, now it will be giving the complete information, element location as well, where it has actually placed the point of it. Okay. Well, where I use watch node to show you XYZ point. Okay. Now tell me one thing, where it is actually getting this ID information, where it is getting the XYZ information from the properties palette, correct? So where is the element ID parameter here? So where is the element ID here? Do you have element ID parameter? Do you have an element ID parameter in the properties palette, in the type properties or
No, not here.
No.
then how did we get this? Then how did we get this? Then how did we get this XYZ values? Because we have a different interface. We have a different, generally, the properties what we have seen for an application, they are not the complete parameters. They're not the actual properties. A BIM developer, a BIM programmer can see the actual parameters behind that application, behind the properties. Okay, let me show you that. So where we have a tool, when I click on this Snoop current selection, this is the properties palette for the programmers. This is the properties palette for the programmers. And these are not only the parameters. These are not only the parameters.
What is the shortcut you used?
This is a different tool. It's a new tool actually. Okay. So this is called okay. This is called Rivet Lookup. Even you can Google it and you can download it. If you Rivet Lookup tool, it's called Rivet Lookup. Okay. Find it. So when I click on Snoop current selection, I can see the complete parameters of it. Okay, well, these are not only the parameters. For example, see where there is an ID, element.id. So that's why I got that ID information. Where there is a name information, that's why I got the name information. Where there is a location, where is the location here? I don't have any location here. But how did you get the location? I can't see the location here, but how can I get the location? Where when it comes to the geometry, where when I click on the geometry element, where there is a where we have a get instance geometry, like symbol geometry, and where we have a lot of parameters. So within the parameter, like we have some other data. So again in the same parameter, again we do have some other data. So for example, if I want to see like where with the parameters, let's say, let me show the location information here. So let's say location information, where I have a point information 98, it's X value and Y value and the Z value. X value, Y value and the Z value. Where I can, if I want to see the parameters, when I click on the parameters, these are the parameters I do have for this element, for this element. Okay, and I can see the values of it. Parameter. So when I cross check the frame material, steel sidescapes forest. So as element ID, steel sidescapes forest. So when you click on this, nothing will happen. But when I click on this, it will take me to the different parameters palette again. Again, this is a different parameters palette. You understand? So where we have a unlimited, the parameters you see, it's not even 10% of the actual parameters for an element. We have thousands of parameters for one element, but you can see only not even hundreds, very few, maybe 30 or 50. Rest of the 950 parameters only the BIM developer can see.
Can we add some of those parameters to our current properties table?
Into this,
like Revit by default, the properties table that what we are generally seeing.
No. You have, like how to create like shade parameters and project parameters, but you cannot add a default parameter within the Rivet, because you don't have an access to play with someone's application. Okay, clear? Okay, well, so
Yes, sir.
this is how actually we do. And I have one more question. I have one more question. We have a 25 minutes more. Okay, I have one more question. How many element IDs we do have for one element?
Only one.
Everybody. I'm
Only
expecting
one.
answer from everyone. Only one? Please, everyone, unmute your mic.
What I believe, like element ID is a unique ID of a particular element, and it has to be one.
Okay, well. So no more answers. I'm expecting a few more answers. So everyone is saying like we have only one element ID for one element. Correct? Correct? Okay.
Yes.
Well, wrong. We have four IDs. We have four different IDs. Okay. I have one more question for you. Now, uh, have you ever faced that like when you are playing with the Navisworks, you copied a element ID from the Navisworks, and when you try to paste it in Rivet, it is not show, it will not show that element. Instead of that, it will be completely showing some grade properties palette. Have you faced this before? Everyone.
Yeah, please. Face this one.
Correct? Everyone would face this. How come?
If it is in a group, means it will act like
No.
this, I think so.
No. No. Any other answer? Any other answer? No answers?
Any single dimension elements?
I'll show you. Where are
Yeah.
we have a four different IDs for every element. Let me mute everyone. When you click on Snoop current selection, I have an element. I have an element here. Okay. So what I do, where is this element coming from? It's coming from a different type. Elements come from a different type. So if I want to know the type ID, when I click on this, so 256306. 256306 is the type ID. Okay, where is this type coming from? The type is coming from a different family. So if I want to know what is the family, when I click on this ID 252620 is the family ID. It's a family ID. Okay, where is this family coming from? The family is a part of a category. So when I click on this category where I have one more ID, it's a category ID. This is called Rivet Hierarchy. This is called Rivet Hierarchy. When I copy this, let me use a notepad, paste it. This is a category ID. Let me close this, and where I have a type ID, copy. I'm sorry, this is a family ID. Okay. So when I close this, I have an ID. This is called type ID. When I close this, when I have an ID 254254, this is an element ID. So this is an element ID. So 254254, copies, Control C, manage, select by ID, Control C. When I click on show, it's showing this element. This is fine. It's showing that element. Okay. Well, when I copy this, Control C and select by ID, paste this. When I click on show, no good view found. When I click OK, the type selector is completely, the properties palette is completely grayed out, and I have an option to change the type. So it's a type ID because of it's a type ID. Well, if I copy this, Control C and select by ID, Control C, when I click OK, now I don't have access for the types. I don't have an access for the types. It's a family selector now. So it's a family properties palette. Even I don't have access for type selector as well. You understand? For example, if you have within the same family category, if you have a number of families, then the family selector will be open instead of like a types. This is how it works. Okay. Well, what about the category ID? Category ID is the only stuff is the category ID is unique. The category ID is the only unique one. The category ID, I mean, if you played with a Kobe, where we have a category IDs over there, like minus 200, 8080, this is how actually. So you will be knowing all the stuff during the training program. So for every element, like we have a 4 different IDs. If I want to play with the categories, I'll use the category ID. If I want to play with the families, I'll be playing with a family ID, not with the families, not with the categories. Okay. So that is how actually it would be.
So, I have a question so for you. Like, if you could allow me, like,
Hmm.
so like, element is a unique one. However, like, inside a category, I might have let's say 10 to 15 or more than that element. So,
Hmm.
like, if I am going to select something by category ID, then it will give me a bunch of element rather than a particular element.
Hmm.
Or I can select a particular element using the category ID as well.
Yes, you can.
Uh,
You can use them. I mean, for example, if you have a type ID, it will understand
yes.
what are the like elements within this type. You understand? For example,
Okay.
if I have a chair, so if I have a chair and the type is like a default load Rivet family type catalog, this is a type actually. I mean, let's say if I change it to the desk, now this is 1525 into 762 mm. Now, if I copy this type ID, it will find how many 1525 into 762 mm desks were there, and it will fetch all. You no need to select one by one in a manual process. You understand? So where, for example, if
Uh,
you want to play with the families, then it will collect all the types within that. So within the types, we have a number of elements in it again. So it will fetch complete all the elements of the particular family. You understand? So that is
okay.
how
Yeah.
actually these IDs works. Clear?
Like the way we are selecting the items in the category, like in the Dynamo, the interface, we are selecting a particular category and we are selecting all element in that category. So instead of that, using this element or the category ID, we can do the same.
Exactly. Exactly. So where we have an
Okay.
instances, the instances are coming from a different types, and these types are coming from a different families, and these families are from the different categories. So this is called a Rivet hierarchy generally, what we know till now. Okay. So even we do apply the same methodology when it comes to the programming as well. So instead of we playing with the elements, we do play with the element IDs. That's it. Clear? Okay.
Yes, I have a question.
Please.
Uh, Category already decided by Revit.
Hmm.
Okay, it not change.
It will not change.
So it means it always one ID for each category, or it will change.
It will change generally. Let me show you. For example, what we have seen in this notepad, this is a -2. This is the only one that is a unique, but these keep changing. This keeps changing from project to project, from model to model, whatever it is. It will be changing. We cannot control this, but these are unique. For example, let's say if I copy this, when I go back to this. Copy spreadsheet, let's say UK, where we have where's the pick list? Yes, we have here. We have some information here. So where we can see some IDs over there. Oh, this is, we don't have that here. Like we have a different standards like Omni class and Uniclass standards. Either you can go with Uniclass standards or Omni class standards. The category IDs would be, what happened? Let me play with reference document. Where is it? Pick list. In which sheet we do have that? Hmm. Here we don't have that. Nothing here. Okay, well, so actually based on like the standards, the Kobe standards, everything, this ID would be the unique, and these IDs keep changing. Okay, so this would be the constant. I mean, it will exactly show you this property belongs to this particular category, and this property, this ID belongs to. Okay, well, Control C. Even I can Google it. Why should I find here Kobe category, uniqueness category? Hmm. It should be there actually. Well, anyhow, so this we'll discuss later because I don't want to waste our time. So for your answer,
Okay, no issue, no problem.
okay, well, see this later because this is the unique one. These categories IDs will never change in any project or whatever. Okay, so this would be the constant, and these keep changing. Okay.
Sir, I'm having one doubt.
Yeah. Yes. Subramaniam.
So which ID it will not change?
Getting more noise. Getting more noise. Subramaniam, again, is it from your end?
Which ID it will not change? You are saying one element ID will not change for all the projects. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes. I don't understand your question again.
Sir, you are saying four different element ID. For one element, 4 ID is there. Which element ID? It will come all the projects for same. Which element ID I am asking? Which one is permanent?
Category ID.
That belongs to category ID. Okay. 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 And Navy which ID it will show? Navy source.
Actually, when it comes to the names, we have an option called set selection resolution. I think set selection resolution. Set selection resolution. Navis works. So I think, yeah, when you select any object which is saying that like either the file or like first object or the last object or the geometry. So generally when you keep changing from the first object to the last object, then the ID keeps differ. It will be changed. You understand? So that's why, I mean, it will be completely depending on the Navis model. Okay. So when you're trying to copy an element ID from the Navis and when try to paste it in the Rivet, it will not show. It will show the type ID. Sometimes it will show the family ID. So we can't say which is the actual one. So one element should not be having multiple elements, multiple IDs. So that is why it is showing, it is acting irregular, like while you copying the elements. Okay. Well, that's not a topic. We have a few more topics to be discussed today. Okay. Well, so this is the process, like the dot notation. So first. Yes. First, we'll finish this. Then we'll have a like answers. I mean the questions later. Okay. First, where is this notepad? Okay, well, so this is how the dot notation works. So element.id, element.name, element.location plus, this is called the dot notation, where we get the XYZ point information and where we can create a parameter within the Dynamo. We can create a project parameter. For example, if I want to create a project parameter, so without any struggle, project parameter. So I can create a project parameter. So I can create a project parameter, whatever it needs generally, parameter name. So group name, type, group and instance, either it's like a type instance parameter or type parameter. So on for which categories do you want to assign this parameter, the new parameter. So everything that we can, to create this, generally while we create a parameter, project parameters, first click, add, second click, so this is the third click, so this is the fourth click, it's a fifth click, sixth click, seventh click, and check all, eighth click. So when I click cancel or when I click OK, then total 8 9 to 10 clicks. So to do that entire process, we will be doing it here itself. It will understand the parameter name, it will create the parameter name, and it will understand, it will ask the group name and the type, the third click, fourth click, fifth click, sixth click. So the 6 clicks will be doing at the same time. Do you understand? That's what the process. See, Dynamo is not that complicated. Seriously, I'm telling you, it's a very, 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 very easy tool if you understand the logic behind it. Very, very easy. Okay. Well, so this is the process, like how to understand, like what is the connecting node for this. That's a second very toughest thing to understand. Okay. Like we have an element here, we have an element id, we have an element name, we have an element of location. So when I place this, so this is also expecting a location. When I connect this to this, oh, it is giving warning. Why? This is where you fail 99%. You don't know which node it will be worked exactly, which node you have to use, which node should not, will not work, which node you should not use. Otherwise it will give you a fatal error and it will close your Dynamo and Rivet and everything. There is a there is a trick to know this, to understand this. Okay, well, this is expecting this is the output is an element. Let's do the anatomy now. I'll cut this into the parts. I'll cut this node, I'll cut this node, I'll cut this node, I'll cut this node. Okay, so I cut all the nodes into the two parts now. So the first part itself, that's called input. The right hand side part we called as an output. This is an input again. So output again. So input again. It's an output. So this is an input and it's an output. Input and output. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of, like, we note down all the input and outputs? Now, coming to the logic. The output of any node, the output of every node, or like any node, whatever. So any node, it has to exactly match with
The input of the next one. Yes.
input of the next node. Clear? So here it is expecting, here this is an element, and the second one, that the connecting node input is also an element. And this is, here we have an element, and where we got an element here, the connecting node. It works. This is an element and this is an expecting an element. This works. But here this is an element and this is a link element. That is a link element. These two are varying. Okay. Well, there is all the drawings. Let's go with a few more. Let's go with one more example. Categories. Okay. I have a categories. I have a categories and all elements of category. All elements of category. I'll simply connect this to this. Now I'd like to know how many walls I do have in this model. I have a 25. Okay, perfect. So this works perfect. Now, element types. Let me check. Do we have wall in this? Yep. So all elements of type. When I connect this to this, this is also showing 25 elements. So where we have a two different set of a nodes, which is getting the same output. Okay, now I feel like I can use while I'm seeing, I'll cut this two parts. Oh, I'm sorry, erase all the drawings. Let's do it now. Cut this, I'll cut this. Okay, and I'll cut this into the two parts and cut this two parts. Well, this is a category, it is expert in the category, and this is input. Input is expert in the category, and the output what we are correcting, that is also category. So it works fine. This is a types, okay, and this is also an element type. This is also an element type only. Okay, so type, when I connect to the element type, it works. Well, what if I do it in a reverse case? When I connect the types to category to element types, they're not working. Actually, these four nodes will give the successful output, but now it's not. It's not giving you actually. Why? Because you don't know the logic behind, like what should be the connecting node. Okay, so this is how actually it works. When I connect the category to the category and types to the element types, it works back again. You understand? So this is called anatomy, and this is 1% of the anatomy to understand the node. We have a lot to learn to understand how the node works, how to bring the nodes, how to bring someone's scripts into your workspace. So it's a different kind of a training. Okay, well, my training would be very into the spoon feeding level. So generally a dynamo should be a 1 hour, but I'll generally take like 2 hours. Until unless you do understand the concept, I will never quit that session for sure. Okay, so that concept has to be delivered exactly, and you should be understand very clearly. Then only my our session would be end. Okay, generally it's like a 1.5 hour, but for the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes is our questionnaire part. So generally every day we have a 2 hours of training, and it's a 20 days training, 15 to 20 days training. Okay, I can't say it's a 20 days, maybe sometimes it's a 25 days as well. Okay, so 20 days training program, and it's a 40 years training course, and with a lot of examples. Okay, so if you're interested, you can text me on my WhatsApp. So we can enroll. I'm sorry, just give me a second. The mic has disconnected. Can you hear me now? One second. Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Rajesh, I have one doubt.
Yes, Pritham.
Can I?
Yeah, Pritham.
Yeah. One thing I have, our BIM team has a small concern. Now we are dealing with a big metro project. That is that to Arctic consultant is a AECOM. We are a structural consultant. So the issue is almost the project has completed, but because of road of it, again the platform's span has increased. So again from we are not doing modeling, but just we changing the elements. So can we customize that in this means we are working from LOD 300 to 400, everything on structure modeling, editing, sheet work.
I have an answer for this.
Part.
I have an answer for this, but not now. Just wait till the end of the demo, then we'll discuss. Okay. Yep. Who is this? Who's Pritham, right?
Yes, Pritham.
Okay. Well, so let me finish the demo first. Within the demo itself, if the people are interested to stay and they can get this understand that query. Okay, answer. Well, so this is how actually it works, guys. Dynamo is very easy. Okay, like playing with elements and understanding, it's very easy. But up to what extent you will be learning? This is like most of you have a doubt. So this is not up to the basic. So we will be playing with some sort of a geometry concept as well. Like I'll explain you how the geometry works. For example, I have a point dot by coordinates. So point dot by coordinates. I have a point, and I have a one more point. So I have one more point. Now, where are these 2 points? This point is at xy 0, 0, 0, 0. And the second point is also like 0, 0, 0. Now I would like to change the x value and the y value. So I need a number. I know this actually the number. So let's make it 1000. So the point is somewhere else. Let's delete all this. I have a one more point. Let's switch to geometry view. I have a 2 points here. I have a 2 points here. One first point is here and second point is here. Okay. Well, I want to draw one line. Line dot by. I have a start point. I can consider this as a start point and I can consider this as an end point. So line by start point and end point. When I connect the start point to this and end point to this, because this is a point, the output is a point and the input is a point. The output is a point and the input is a point. Understand? So start point and end point. Now I have a line here. Okay. Now what I can do with the line? Can I convert this line into the duct? Can I convert this line into the tray? Can I convert this line into the wall? Yes, of course you can. Let's say wall dot by I want to draw one wall by curve and height. I know a curve. So line and curve, these two are same. These two are same. When it comes to the geometry concepts, you'll be understanding the line and curve are both are same. Okay. Well, the height. What would be the wall height? Say wall height is a number. Height is a number. Correct? It's a number. It is not text. So number it is 4000. So when I connect the height to this, at what level you want? Okay. So levels. So when I connect the levels to this, level 1. So when I connect this to this, okay, this is fine. And what about the wall types? For every node, we have this special. Okay, don't consider like we do have a let's make it extra dark. So when I connect this to this, now I have a wall. The ID which has we created now, it is like 287489. 287489. 287489. Let's see, where is it exactly? Go to manage, select by ID. 287489. Let's say click OK. Yep, I have a wall somewhere in the middle of this building.
Okay, you can check by wireframe, I think, right?
Sorry?
That means if you want, means you can check by wireframe. You can
Wireframe also.
no?
Yes. Let's see now. We have a wall here. We have a wall here. Okay. So where now if I want to extend this wall, so what to do? I would like to extend not the height, this point. This point. Okay. Let's keep it here. And this number, instead of the number, like the constant, I'll use a slider. I'll use a number slider. The maximum value, it could be 5000. Okay. When I connect the X value to this, see, now it's increasing. The wall length is increasing. Do you see this? Okay. So this is how we can customize either the cable trays or like a ducts, whatever it is. So if you know the start point, I mean, if you don't have a like start point and endpoint information, or you're trying to fetch this data, this points information from an Excel file, even that's very easy. Okay. Well, ultimately, this process keeps changing. This process keeps changing. If you don't have a start point and end point, if you don't want to create within the Dynamo script, you have this point somewhere in an Excel file or in a notepad file or in a CSV file. How do you fetch that? How do you fetch that? That's a secondary thing. So this entire process we are automating. We're just playing with the data. Okay. Once you have the start point and end point, this would be the main node. If you don't have this node, then you have to create your own node. Where that comes, then where the iron python comes. Okay, mostly for your all the solutions, Dynamo is more than enough up to some extent. Like for the next 6 months, the Dynamo gives you everything. You don't need to worry like where we cannot find this like node within the Dynamo. No, you can get everything within the Dynamo. But if you want to customize, or like if you're looking for like a very extreme one, like for example builders work, let's say type builders work. We don't have the builders work. Well, you're looking for like a builders work, or like wall openings. So wall openings, like floor openings, wall opening, we don't have. You have to create your own Python script to create the opening wherever there is a clash between the wall and the duct. Of course, we do have some resources available in YouTube and Google, as like in forums as well. You can use those, but my intention is not to explain any kind of a scripts here. Okay, for examples, that is fine. But if you have any particular like your project requirement, of course I do help you with some sort of an examples. Okay, for example, on your live projects, but you should join like 15 minutes prior the training. Clear? I don't want to disturb the training for your personal queries. If you have any personal queries not related to the training, then you have to join 15 minutes before the if generally our training starts at 8:30 every day in the evening. If you want to if you have any queries, then you have to join at 8:15. Then the first 15 minutes for you. Clear? Okay, then 8:30 to 8:45, this questionnaire part is for everyone. 8:30 to 8:45, it's for everyone, so anyone can have any questions. Clear guys? Are you clear? So this is how actually it works, but
Yeah.
to what extent you will be learning what is a design scripting. You heard, like how the Dynamo works, but how do you play with a let's press Control Z. Okay, I have a wall now. Okay, now let's make it okay. Well, let me play with all the walls. So how do I get all the walls? So categories, I have already walls. No, I have an elements. I have a total 27 elements. So let me I have a walls. Do we have any? No. Okay. Well, let me name it then. So I'll select this and I filter, check walls. The comments, I'll set e-building, and for rest of this, no reference. Well, let me check where we have a e. We have e. Okay, perfect. Now, what do we do now? I want to figure out like what are the elements contains the parameter as a e in it. Okay, so how do you find out? And I want to delete all the walls. Those are named with the e in the commons parameter. Okay, well, this is called the design scripting. So elements, okay, element dot get parameter. I'm sorry, this is what generally happens with design scripting. Get parameter value by name. So when I open this, okay, it's working. So elements dot get parameter value. When I open this bracket, now it is expecting element and element comma and the comments parameter. No, so comments. So that's it. Now when I connect the elements to this, it's getting all the comments parameter. So for this wall, there is no parameter value in this comments. Okay, there is no value in the comments parameter. There is no value in the comments parameter. No, 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 no. Seventh one has a E in it. Okay, well, eighth one has in it, and 11th to 22 we have in it. Now I want to extract these values. I want to see only these elements. I want to see only these elements. Then how do we do that? Now equal to, let's say, make it E. Now it's saying that the seventh item it's a true, eighth item it's a true, and 11th, 12th, 13th they are like a true. Now wherever there is a true value, I want to see the elements of it. Wherever there is a true value, I want to ignore the false values. Then how do you do that? Now I can question mark. Now I can question mark. Now I use a, okay, now we'll do one thing. So where it's a E building wall, and if not, it's like a B building wall. Well, now see, it's saying this is a B building wall. The first element, that's a B building wall, B building wall, B building wall, and the seventh one, that is a E building wall. Eighth one, it's a E building wall. So this is how it looks like. No, I don't want to see any stuff. I want to get only the elements. Then what to do? ELM. Why did I use ELM? Because we stored the elements in the ELM variable. So when I connect the ELM, then it will show it's like ELM. Well, I don't want to see the building wall here. I want to see the null value. I want to see the null. Now, only these elements having this. And if you want to clear, I mean, I don't want to see the null values, then what to do? I'll be using dscore dot. Why should I use, and how do I come to know like whether it's a dscore or it's an elements dot element? So how do I come to know all this? We are going to cover during the training day. Okay, so now I can see only these walls which are having the E value in the parameter. Clear? Now, if I want to delete all these elements, how do you do that? If I would like to do this design scripting, I mean, if I want to write the code, I mean, use this, one second. Huh? Let me bring this out. Okay, see, it's so easy now. It's so easy now, like elements don't get parameter value by name, elements comments equal to, why did I use this, and why I used E here, and why there is an element here. Okay, if I make it more clear, element don't get parameter value by name, it will fetch the parameter information. Now we are getting, we got the parameters, the which parameter value you want exactly, it's a specified. I want to get only the comments parameter value. So it got all the comments parameter value first of all. When you see that's an E, which is showing like empty values and E. Okay. Well, if I ask the mark, if I say ask the mark, it will return empty list. Okay. If I ask to get the mark values, Control C, Control V, when I connect the elements to it, then it returns all the mark parameter values. Of course, we don't have any values for mark values in those elements. If we have, it could get. You understand? If you would like to set the mark value, you can set it as well. You can set that. For example, element.set parameter by name. How do you come to know all this stuff? Element, mark value, and the values, which are like how many elements we have? 1 to 27. So I'll say like 1 double dot 27. I can say it's like 120, or else like I say BIM error. That's it. Now for all the elements, it's setting the value, it's like a BIM error. If I go and check, When I select this wall, in the mark parameter, there is a beam error. When I select this wall, then the mark parameter, there is a value called beam error. So up to this extent, we are going to learn the design scripting, not only this, like what you can do, for example, where we have a process called definitions. Definition again. So for example, uh, double it. We're going to finish in next 15 minutes. Okay. So double it. What else? The user is going to connect a value. Once the user has connected the value, just double it. So output equal to, so value multiply it to 2 times. That's it. And return output. That's it. That's it. Now, if the user is going to type the double it, we can see the variable here. And if the user is going to connect a value, the user has to connect a value. Let's say if the user has set 5 into 2, it's 10. See, it is multiplying here itself, where you will be using these definitions for our project standards. So up to this extent, you will be learning. So you can play with like multiple parameters at the same time. Well, we have a one case, I don't know who asked it, I think Soumya. Soumya has asked, like, if she is working on different Excel file, which is very complicated Excel, where you use the definitions. Okay. Well, up to this extent, you will be learning during the training. Okay. Well, don't expect any Python, because I don't want to confuse you with design scripting and Python at the same time. Of course, I did give you some sort of an examples when do you use a like how to write the same code in Python, but not up to from the scratch to the advanced of a Python. Okay, I'll give you the basic examples of Python. Okay, if you want to learn the complete Python, you have to enroll for the second module as well. Clear? Okay, so this is how the training program goes. And well, I can confidently say one thing: once you're done with the training, you are almost equal to a person who is having more than 6 months of experience. Within like 20 days, you are almost equal to, because I'm going to teach you the key concepts. If you, I mean, I teaching my thousands of hours of R&D into 40 hours, it's not a small thing. It's not a common thing. Okay, well, we have total 160 around slides. They are very well descripted. Okay, so every slide which gives you more information. So you don't need to remember, you don't need to write any notes. I'll be providing the notes in a mind mapping tool like this, uh, like this, like this. So everything, it would be like explained. Every concept will be explained with a. This is not the one I'm going to share you. So you have a different notes, and this is the old notes. Okay, you have a different notes, and you have a different examples again. Okay, well, sorry, sorry, Pritam. Okay, well, fine. So this is what our demo. I hope you feel somewhat productive today. Okay, and don't get confused like what to learn, what not to, like where to start. Okay, it's very clear. Only one thing: the Dynamo has some key concepts. You have to learn these key concepts. Okay, if you're aware of all these key concepts, you will be master in very short time. Okay, this is where I showed you some sort of an examples that are very basic. But when it comes to the dynamo geometry, again, that's a different stuff. Like how do you create a complete facade? How do you create a complete facade with let me show you that example, the geometric example. Even for example, select face. We'll go with the same wall. select edge. So I would like to select edge of any element. So when I select a click edge, so I'll select an edge here. Now I selected an edge. Now what I want to do with this? So I can see something here. Let me delete all this stuff. See, I have a curve now. So this is the curve, what we selected now. This is the edge. Okay. Well, geometry.translate. Geometry.translate. What I'm doing here, I want to use some sort of an offset. So I would like to use an offset which is this to this, and translation. The value would be around like 5,000, or let's make it 10,000. When I connect this to this, okay. Well, okay, where I have a object here, and if I want to translate again the same thing, Control C, Control V. This is the geometry, and this is going to be the Z value now. Now I would like to, I have a two stuff. This is an edge, and I don't want to see this now. So I have a two curves. I have a two curves now. So I want to convert this into the surface. So how do you do that now? Surface dot byloft. Surface dot byloft. So it is expecting the cross sections. So cross sections, when I connect this to this, one will be disconnected. For that sake, like what I do, let's dot create. Why I'm doing this? We have a two geometers. See, when I select this, this is going to be the select as a blue color. When I click this node, this one is highlighted in a blue color because this edge is different and this is edge is different. This one we called as a cross section, and this one we called as a cross section. When I connect this cross section to this, it will give an error. When I connect this cross section to this, it will give again an error. It needs a multiple cross sections in a one list. So I can create a list now. So this is going to be the first item, and this is going to be the second item. Okay, this is going to be the second item now. When I have a list of two different arcs, so when I connect these two different cross sections to with this, now I can see a surface. Oh, battery is running low. Just give me a second. Okay, well, I have a surface now. Okay, well, if I want to convert this surface into the facade or into the solid shape, where I can do multiple actions within this. Okay, well, if I want to play with this, like having a surface now, it's a B building. Now I want to use this as a facade. So what I do, this cross section I want to use get isolate. Now I have a surface. When I connect this to this and the ISO direction, so I'll be using like a 0, and the parameter itself, like, don't ask me anything right now because we have a very less time. So 0.1. So it will give the 10 parameters. Now I can see the geometry. It is split it into the 10 parts. Well, I'd like to do the same. I'd like to do the same in the vertical direction as well. So in the vertical direction, I'll change this to the 1. Now we can see the parts. Now this is how the paneling is ready. Now I don't want to use a equal distance. I would like to go with the different parts now. Like I'll just go with the small parts like 0.2. When I connect this to this, now I can see 1, 2, 3 small parts, very less parts, but they are equal. If I want to change it 0.05, I can see more. I can see more. If you want to customize, you can customize it. Let's say make it, I would like to change this value into the X. And now I need an X value. So I'll be using like a slider for this, number slider. So the maximum value is 100. It should be like 0. It should be the 1. The step would be 0.01. So when I connect this to this, it's giving, see, it's giving a number of, it's increasing number of. Likewise, are you clear? If I want to go with more, you can change the paneling, like number of panels in a one click. So where we will be learning up to, even not up to this extent, I'll give you the basic examples of it. If you're an architect, if you're from architecture background or structure background, you have to go with a different module next to this module. Okay, well, I'll explain you that I'll explain that later. Okay, well, so our demo is about to done in next 5 minutes. Do you have any other questions? And I hope you enjoyed this demo as well, doesn't it?
Sir, hello.
Yeah, Rutraj.
Hello.
Yeah, Rutraj.
Actually, I'm late here. I'm late here. I attended around 10 p.m.
No
So,
problem. I'll
is
share
this
the record.
a recorded session or not?
I'll share this record.
Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
It will
Well,
be great.
so do you have any other questions? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, regarding the pricing part, initially we asked.
Okay, well, not except that. Any other?
Okay.
Any other queries do you have? Any questions?
Sir. Hello.
Yes, Rudraj.
Hello. Are you gonna explain the logic behind how how we start the coding or something Python
Again,
or nodes? How
you
is
missed
the
the.
process? Logic behind the.
I do explain. I do explain everything, because like you don't need to look
Okay.
up the depth concepts of the programming, Rutraj, because you missed the initial session. So that's why you have a question here.
Okay.
Well, so
Okay.
it was there in the demo. I've already explained, answered this question before. Okay. Well, no need to learn any programming language. Up to some extent, you have to. I'll teach you those during the training program. Clear?
Previously, you have also mentioned the grasshopper, like.
Yes.
So, is there any specific difference between those Dynamo and grasshopper, or there's advantage of using the Dynamo with
The
Revit?
only thing is the interface is different, except that the concept is almost similar. The concept which is almost similar. The only the interface is different. That's in that looks like in a different way, and this looks like in a different way. Of course, even if you are from into the architectural background, of course, I will give you some examples within the grasshopper as well. Okay, I'll give you the example.
Any advantage for the MEP background guys?
Yes, of course. We do have an example for architecture. We do have an example. See, you guys are here from architecture background, structure background, and MEP background, where the topics that I'm going to teach you all are similar to all the disciplines. You understand? But when it comes to the architecture and structure, this is not enough, because you guys are going to play with the dynamic geometry, the Rivet geometries. You understand? So that would be additional like training program. Again, it's like a 10 to 15 days training program. So you have to go with that training program as well, but not initial stage. You have to play with this. You have to aware on this. But when it comes to the MEP candidates, you don't need to go with any other second Dynamo module. Clear? Okay.
I have a doubt now. So for architecture structure, we are going to study this course and practice for 6 months. Again, we have to study another Dynamo course based upon the geometry separately, right?
Geometry, you can take it instantly. You understand? So Dynamo geometry, you don't need to give any break. I don't suggest you to give the break for the Dynamo geometry. So you have to finish it instantly. Okay. Well,
So it
so
means
Okay, okay.
second module is not for the MEP.
not for the maybe. Of course, I mean, if you want to
But
learn the geometry concepts, you can learn that. I do suggest you to go with Dynamo geometry concepts for MEP guys also, but it is not required because like you are not going to play with any conceptual buildings like this. Let me show you. You are not going to create any these kind of a buildings. You understand? So this entire building, like you can create in Dynamo. So all this kind of structures, this kind of tunnels or bridges or this kind of buildings.
Yeah, okay.
So everything that you can automate, but this needs the geometrical concepts where we are going to cover in this training module because it kills a lot of time and there is no worth of learning for the MEP guys. You understand? So that's a
okay,
different module for architecture and structural guys. That's
I
different.
thought in second module you include API
Uh,
and all.
Actually, for MEP guys, the second module is API. You understand? For the architectures,
Okay,
the third module is the API. Clear?
okay, okay,
Mm.
got
Well,
it. So
well,
we have only two modules.
you have only two modules. For MEP, you have only two modules. For architecture and structure, they have three modules. Okay. Well, Shrijan, yes, if you miss any sessions, you no need to worry. I'll be sharing in the recorded sessions daily. Okay. With a time of like it'll take some time to render and I mean like convert and upload into the platform. I'll be sharing the recorded sessions, but they are like private videos. Only you can only watch those videos. Okay. Well, and it's a lifetime, and you don't need to worry about. I mean, for example, you have a project submissions and you didn't attend some of the sessions and you don't, then you can join after 6 months without paying single NP. You can join n number of times to the same. I mean, if you enroll for this course, you can join n number of times after 6 months, after 1 year, after 2 years as well. Okay, so this is where like we have a flexibility. Okay, and every day we will be sharing you the recorded sessions and we will be sharing the notes, we will be sharing the exercise files, and we'll be giving the assignments as well. So everything will be, yes. Do you provide Python training as well after we complete the Dynamo training? Yes, that's a next module as I told you. Okay, well, any other questions do you have? Anyone have any questions or shall we leave? Oh, okay. Someone has one more question. No more questions? Guys, no more questions?
Sir, what will be the pricing?
Pricing, I'll explain you. You can
Are
text
you
me.
gonna explain?
You can text me. You can text me
Okay, okay,
personally.
okay.
Okay.
That's
I'll explain
okay,
that later. Okay.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
fine. Okay,
Well,
thank you.
so any other questions?
Yeah, hi Rajesh, this is
Yeah,
Viru here.
you can enroll for one module as well. This is not it's not, I'm not saying you have to enroll for all the three modules. Even I don't suggest you to go with if you're from MEP background, I don't suggest you to go with the second module like at the same time. Okay, because I have seen there are many failures with from the candidates, so I don't personally suggest. Okay, well, so can we opt for single module? Yes, Soumya. So okay, yeah. Someone has a question now. Who's that?
Yeah, Rajesh, this is Viru here.
Yeah, Viranjana.
Yeah, like so thanks for the wonderful demo session.
Thank
It's
you.
definitely it will be an informative.
Mhm.
And just as like I asked you last time, so
Mhm.
do you provide any kind of certification for this? I
Yes, we
mean,
do provide the
course.
certification as well, and that certification is going to be add under a licensing. Like, let me show you.
Okay.
So it will be. It's not like a digital certificate. It is like a e-certificate. So digital certificate in the sense they are in the just a PDF format. That's it. Okay, but where we do share the certificates and the badges even. So even you can add the badge on your see, this is how, like, see credential, Dynamo Python scripting and Rivet API from the Bimmer Academy. This is how actually it looks like. Okay, when you click on see, when any recruiter who clicks on see credentials, they can see the certificates of yours. Okay, well, if if you see the activities, how the badge looks like. Let me show you how the badge looks like. Let's see this, guys. You can let it load. So when I click on other certificates, now it will take you, I mean, we are like just maintaining and we are paying for it, especially. Okay, well, anyhow, this is that's a compliment for you. So when I click on view credential, you can see the badge here. As you see the certificate, and you can see the badge over there, and you can download this as a PNG format, and you can add in your CV as well. Clear?
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Well, so it means like you're a certified Dynamo person. You understand? Okay. Well.
Yeah.
So any other questions?
Thank
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any study material will be provided?
Recorded videos are more than enough. And anyhow, like I'll be sharing you like the examples, like the workshop files. Like we have a lot of examples to dynamic exercise files. So I'm going to share you all this. I'm going to share you all these examples, and the examples like what we learned during the training, and the workshop files for your practice. I'll be sharing you this. So you'll play a lot. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, sir.
I'm a BIM MEP engineer apart from Excel import and export. And complex architecture structure is creation is Dynamo useful in MEP design. Yes, of course you can. Yes, of course. Yeah, you can play with it. You can play with an import and export as well, and you can create a complex structures, and you can use it in MEP design as well. You can, for example, you have a thousands of elements has to be renamed at the same time without any type error. You can do it. You understand? So like element deletions and adding keeps happening. Like we keep doing the same. I came from the same background, so I know it's a very headache process, like renaming and so can we do Kobe with the, yes sir, yeah, you can do Regio, you can do, but it needs a lot of effort. Seriously, integrating the Kobe exactly with the Dynamo, it takes a lot of effort. But if you want to generate a schedules within the Dynamo, you can do it from the fourth day or fifth day itself, where our examples are going to explain on fourth or fifth day. Clear? Well, any other questions, everyone?
I have posted a question actually. I do 3 models at a time, and I want to give a gap between the models and then attend. Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. That's what even I do suggest. No, just you have to give the gap between every module. But if you are from architecture or structure background, I don't suggest you to give the break from first module to the second module. I hate it seriously, because like you are into the architecture background and you learn the main concepts, and if you don't learn this geometrical concepts, it's useless. It's seriously useless. I mean, if you give the break, I don't personally you to join for the second module as well. If you're from architecture or structure background, you can learn yourself.
I'm
Yeah, yes, Soumya, you're from.
structures.
Yeah, you can. That's more. It's good if you give the break. That's fine. Not an issue.
I mean, you're saying that we don't want to join the second module itself. We can learn on our own.
Second module is for the architects. If you're from architectural
Okay, okay.
structure,
Yeah, I'm
then it
architecture.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, then you can learn yourself. You don't need to. Still, I mean, of course, you have to waste your lot of time, but you don't want to waste your time. And in that case, you have to join. Okay, if you have enough time
Okay,
to
fine.
do some R&D, then you don't need to join even. Frankly, I'm saying you, because I don't want to
Okay, okay.
waste
Thank you.
your money as well. Okay, well,
Yeah,
uh,
thanks. Thanks a lot.
yes, someone has one more question. Is it possible class in the morning thing? No, Manpreet. Actually, we are all like working professionals. So even this is my, uh, I'm just doing this training only because of I love teaching. That's it. Actually, as I'm a director of this company, Bimera. So I don't generally take any trainings. I mean, if I take any trainings, only in the day, only in the evening time. It's around 8:30 to 10. That's it. Rest, like, we have a trainers, those who do in the daytime, but we don't have any dynamo trainers doing in the day. Okay, so mostly you can go with the recorded videos as well. If you can't able to join, you guys can go with the recorded videos. If you have any questions, I'll be available for like 30 minutes anytime in your daytime as well. That's fine. We'll schedule time for 30 minutes and you can clear all your questions. If you're not able to go with the live sessions, then you can go with the recorded sessions as well. Okay, well, anyhow, the resources and the stuff, everything that is going to be shared you equally along with the live training candidates. Okay, well, think about it, Manpreet. Well, any other questions? Any other questions?
Course fees?
Later, text me personally. Okay.
Okay.
Well, any other questions? No. Okay. If you don't have any questions, we have a query with who is that? I think Preetham, Ecom guide. Is it Preetham? Is that you? Preetham? I think who left? Okay. I think he left.
I think he
Okay.
left. Yeah.
I think he left. Okay. Well.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay, Rajesh. Thank you. It was very, very useful.
thank you, thank you. I hope. I mean, like, I don't suggest you to. I'm not asking you to come and join the training program. At least learn yourself and upskill yourself, because our BIM in future is going to be completely in automation. So keep yourself safe and your job as well. Because if the companies are started already looking for the IDD guys, even when I recruited a person to a companies, there were some terminations happened because this is not, I'm trying to scare you. This is what generally happen. Even when I'm hiring a persons, I always prefer the dynamo guys because I want a smart guys, those who can automate a process by themselves. If they have any queries, I'll take a charge on what where they start for. Okay, so once the companies has realized the automation, then your jobs would be in a danger zone. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. Actually, when are you planning to start the training sessions? From tomorrow. Actually, it should start from tomorrow. I'll text, I mean, once after this demo, like, I have to text everyone. So based on the student count, we'll start continue the training. Okay, so we have already have some students which are around like 5 to 6 students, but the general count is like 10 students in a batch. So once we cross the 10 students, we can start the batch. Okay, well, do you have any other questions, or shall we leave? It's around 2 hours. Oh, you guys are more hungry then. Well, I hope today's demo make something productive for you. Okay, and wish you good luck, guys. And I would like to see you somewhere in a different role in future. Okay. Well, no more questions. Shall we leave? If you have any questions, you can text me
Yeah.
on WhatsApp for regarding your queries like training sessions or pricing. You can text me on WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much. Thank
Rajesh.
you. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.